Hey guys, welcome to Crypto Scene Investigation, where we look into various projects and coins and see whether or not they're actually worth investing in. Today we're going to be looking at the Nervos Network, also known as the CKB coin. So let's have a look and let's first find out exactly what are these guys or what do they do. The Nervos Network describes itself as an open source public blockchain ecosystem and collection of protocols. The Nervos CKB Common Knowledge Base is the layer 1 proof of work public blockchain protocol of the Nervos Network. Proof of work, okay. It reportedly allows any crypto asset to be stored with the security, immutability, and permissionless nature of Bitcoin while enabling smart contracts and layer 2 scaling. It aims to capture the total network value through its store of value, crypto economic design, and native token, the CK Byte. Alright, cool. So let's dive in and see what we can find out about this token. Alright, so you guys know the first thing that I like to look at, tokenomics. Your boy's all about the tokenomics. Now here's the problem. Here's one of my personal qualms. We can't see anything. I cannot find anything regarding the tokenomics. I had a look on the Nervos Explorer, had a look on Common Knowledge Base, and I also had a look at a whole bunch of other links, and I could not find anything. So we can see miners. It doesn't give me top wallets. It doesn't say anything like that. So this is just absolutely triggering. I even had a look through the whole white paper. I typed in the word like token. I typed in the word, token O. I typed in the word for like circulation or circulate, and I typed in the word distribution. Yeah, so issuance economic model. Oh my gosh, please tell me this has something. Used to store. Yep, great. So anyway, so that's a bit triggering. I can't find any simple tokenomics, and that frustrates me because, as you guys know, tokenomics is very important. Which is usually something which almost every project which we've looked into has, except for not every project we've looked into necessarily has founders, but with this one, it's the opposite. We can't find the tokenomics, and we can find the founders, as you can see. So, so that's a little bit different. Yeah, so let's actually have a look and see what else we can find about it. They don't have anything with the BSC check or token sniffer. I couldn't find any exact sort of like, I guess, contracts or sort of main wallets to, go and hunt down on there. So that was a little bit frustrating. So let's have a look at some of the subreddit stats. Let's see what we can find there. So 14,000 subscribers, cool. As we can see there's been quite a little blow up. A few thousand each day. It's decent, it's good, it's alright, It's better than it's better than how my YouTube channel's doing at the moment. So comments per day. So that's decreased quite a bit. So it looks like there has been less interaction now. This would mostly be due to them having almost reached their all-time high. So this is the all-time high where they had about 0.04, and we're currently sitting at about 0. So it says we're sitting at about 0.02, and they actually had a little kind of small smidgen kind of all-time high-ish thing here. So it wasn't their all-time high, obviously, but it's their like all-time high within the last month. Yeah, that would be about right. So that is November the 28th, which is what I think we can look at when it comes to actually looking at the comments per day, because as we can see there was well, actually, yeah, that's interesting. So so most of the comments per day were around November 11th. Very peculiar. I'm not sure exactly what's been causing that then. So we have a look at posts per day. What can we find from here? Also gone down a bit. So that's fine. This isn't really that off-putting to me, to be honest. It's mostly just, from what I have seen, it's mostly just sort of people asking like what to do. So as we can see, it's sort of just people like asking, so what should I do with this, and who exactly is this, or I don't know. I mean, there's definitely a bunch of other stuff which they're talking about, but yeah. So this is one of their frequently asked questions, which I was looking onto as well, to find out a little bit more about who the team was. So it was alright. I mean, it's not great, but it's alright. So 76,000 followers. These are the Twitter stats which we're looking at now. So what can we find out from here? Let's have a look at the detailed statistics. So in terms of hype and popularity right now, there really is not much around this coin. I don't know if this coin is underrated or what. It's kind of hard to tell exactly where we are kind of sitting in terms of, yeah, where it's kind of going. I mean, is it going to be doing like a Cardano and just sitting around like this sort of mark or whatever? Like, yeah, I'm not entirely sure with that. Or sitting around, like a certain mark. Yeah, so in the last 30 days, so we've had about 8,000 people who have been following this project out of 76,000 followers. So it seems like they do definitely have some level of, I guess, popularity, if you want to call it that, or some level of something like that, right? Where they have something a little bit nifty. Yeah, so let's go and have a look at what else we can find. So let's go and check some of these tweets. So for a project which has got 77,000 followers, let's see if there's any sort of like bot comments. It doesn't seem like there's much interaction though. Yeah, I would have expected a little bit more, maybe comments, but we don't really see much here. Which is a bit surprising. I mean, maybe these guys are kind of like an underdog if you think about it. Not entirely sure with that one. So I tried to see what I could find regarding the actual searches within the last 30 days. But let's have a look at the last 90 days. So also there was a pretty hefty search around October 20th. Not sure what sort of caused that. But we'll also have a look at some of the others. And yeah, I'd say it's kind of alright. I would say in the last 30 days, we are definitely on the downtrend. So if you're possibly looking at investing into this, now is possibly an okay time. But yeah, we'll continue looking at some of the things to actually see, once again, is this actually worth investing in, right? Cool. So here is their roadmap. Now, something annoyed me a little bit about this. So they don't show anything for what 2022 is going to show. Just says more to come. I don't know which of these have actually been implemented or not, but that's a bit concerning for me, to be honest. The fact that, because if I'm investing in a project, I want to know, how is this going to go? How is this going to grow? How is this going to become more fruitful, right? Like, I want to know, what is your roadmap? What are your next steps, right? And I currently can't see any sort of thing which says to me, this is going to be a great next step, right? I can't see anything which sort of screams that out to me, right? Yeah, but here's some cool stuff. So I managed to get a bunch of details from these guys, which is heckin' awesome. So yeah, these guys have honestly, a bunch of them have got a bunch of decent sort of backgrounds there. I mean, so co-founder, project manager, chief architect, chief product officer, CEO, and director. We've also got co-founders. So we've got co-founder and host. So IBM. Like, I mean, these guys aren't just sort of like, I don't know, old Auntie Nancy who doesn't really know what is left or right. But yeah, like, so they do have good experiences. They do have decent experiences under their belt. I'm not really too worried about some of the ones which don't actually show pictures or whatever. But we'll also have a look at some of the others. I mean, especially look at this, like senior software engineer, and then we have advisor, lead developer, director. So I mean, these guys are definitely not chumps from what I can see. From what I can see, these guys are not thick or foolish, like thick in like a bad way or whatever. Cool. So Nervos partners in ecosystems. So we are proud of the projects that have backed us thus far, and those who have also partnered with us on this journey to build a better blockchain future. So infrastructure for devs. Now you probably recognize this guy right here. Whoop, Chainlink. And for those who are devs, you should at least probably recognize a few of these others, especially Muta or Muta, however you want to pronounce it. I definitely have heard of things with them. Don't recognize any of these names. None of these names ring a bell to me. So when it comes to these guys' marketing, I'm not exactly sure. I did look on both CKB Explorer and TokenView to see if I could find their actual tokenomics, but nada. Not a ting. Not a ting. And so here's a kind of like a bit of an insight into 3 big things that I look for when it comes to projects. And this could be a little bit foolish when it comes to stuff like maybe like Meta VPad or some of those like launch pads. But when it comes to stuff like almost any project really, 3 huge things for me: roadmap, the founders doxed, what do we know about them, are they transparent, and the third one is wait, did I say roadmap already? Tokenomics, yeah, tokenomics, roadmap, and team. So those are 3 hugely important things for me. Yeah, so we want to see these things. If we can't see these things, it's questionable to invest in, especially if we can't check them on things like BSC check or token sniffer. I can't see anything to do with this, or I can't find anything with this. And maybe, like, I mean, if I type in, because what is it called? It's called CKB. I mean, do we have anything? I mean, nothing. Yeah, nothing which sort of says to me that, you know, they're the sort of things which we want. So, yeah, it just has a list of CKB. So, as I say, we can't sort of find that sort of jazz, which, to me, that's sussy. Nervos Nation community, CKB bar, don't know these guys, but I mean, these guys would all specifically have been made for the project. A bunch of various sort of wallet things which we can see, which is pretty alright. Tooling, do I recognize these? No, I do not, but I mean, I'm sure that, you know, if you're a part of the network, then you probably recognize it a little bit better than I would. It's a bit funky how their little icons are kind of blurry-ish though, but anyway, we don't complain about websites, do we, in this channel? Cryptape, so this is where some of the other guys, I think that they might have turned into Cryptape. So some of the partners and investors, these guys are also very important to be looking at. Morpheus Labs, I do believe that I've heard of them. Huobi Group, yep, recognize them. Sequoia, that's a familiar name. Blockchain Capital, so these names are familiar-ish. They're not the most familiar, but they are familiar-ish to me. You might also recognize some of these pools as well. Yeah, and security, Certic. So I mean, Certic is pretty huge. I mean, almost every project I've seen has some level of Certic. Yeah, so this sort of, I'm not going to read all this to you guys, but this sort of just gives a brief overview of what they do. So this is pretty important to read. So this blockchain ecosystem is still in a period of discovery as different chains and projects look to address issues such as performance optimization based on Ethereum architecture. So NER and Solana. I do have 2 videos about those, which you can watch or hunt my channel down for it. And the design of blockchain infrastructure for specific scenarios. So Filecoin, I do believe that this is actually going to be pretty big as well, but yeah, we'll sort of see how that goes. For decentralized storage as an example. However, the full potential of what a decentralized digital ecosystem and economy can offer has not truly been reached, as a number of basic infrastructure problems still persist, beg pardon. Poor user experience and operating experiences are key among them. So, I think it's cool that they're actually trying to do stuff. So, one thing for where these guys kind of stood out to me was actually so one thing which I personally believe is going to be quite big in 2022 is interoperability. So being able to essentially go from one coin to going from one network to the next in sort of easy and fast-paced manner, right? Because we have all of these different sort of chains and everything, but now we want to be able to actually make sure that these chains can work together, right? So that's essentially a part of that, or why we're sort of looking at that jazz, right? So yeah, so that's kind of a part of these guys. So asset to asset, code with flexibility, so bring dApps anywhere. Yeah, when we compare this to something like NER, yeah, I would not go for these guys, but so should you invest? So the red flags, we've gone over the red flags. Honestly, my personal suggestion is, if you are going to invest, now's probably a good time to invest. But if you still need to think about it, or whether or not you want to invest, I'd probably say don't do it. But the reason why I'm saying that is because we haven't seen great tokenomics. I haven't seen like any sort of decent ideas regarding the roadmap. I mean, even their little coin market cap thing doesn't look, decent-ish. And I mean, I haven't seen anything which really kind of, I don't know, stands out to me, to be honest. I haven't seen much which really says to me, yes, this is a great project to invest in. I personally think there are other better projects. I mean, you've got Solana, you've got Nair, you've got, I mean, hesitantly do I say, Meta VPAD, I mean, and then, like a bunch of the other top market cap coins like XRP, if it ends up, winning the court case, of course. And you've also got ADA/Cardano, right? So, I mean, all in all, dude, like, I personally think don't touch it. Yeah, I mean, I managed to buy some the other day because, I'd like heard about it, but I'm probably going to sell my share or whatever because, yeah, after looking through this extra stuff, it doesn't turn me on, man. I don't get a boner from looking at this sort of jazz. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching my video. Please like and subscribe. And comment if you want. You are welcome to request things, or maybe if you have information which I don't know about, go and comment it down, fam. Yeah, so this is my little Patreon. If you want to help, support or back me, or even become an advocate. Hey yo, awesome. Cool. But anyway, guys, thank you for coming. Thank you for joining. Talk to you next time.